Hello, how's it going? In today's video, I'm covering the Amani Pact on Wings of Thunder and Garona's escape from Chronicle Volume 2. So let's go! Orc scouts had discovered Warlord Zul'jin was being held in a prison camp near Durnholde Keep. So, as the battles continued across Hillsbrad foothills, War Chief Doomhammer led a raiding party to go and rescue the bugger. And this wasn't difficult at all. The prison was guarded by civilians, whereas Doomhammer and his group were soldiers, and hard as nails. Once Zul'jin was freed, Doomhammer invited him and the rest of the Amani to join the Horde. At first, Zul'jin was like, nah. He was a mighty warlord. He didn't answer to anyone. But Orgrim was quick to suggest leadership wouldn't be an issue. If you pledge yourselves to the Horde, you won't be servants, mate. You'll still have full control over your people, and will stand as equals. But Zul'jin remained a little bit reluctant. So Doomhammer made another offer. If you commit your forces to the Horde, we'll help you eliminate your rivals, the High Elves of Kul Tiras. To be fair, doing this meant moving further north of Lordaeron than Doomhammer wanted, which would be a bit of a ball ache, but it was potentially worth the risk. The Alliance's paladins were super formidable. Death Knights weren't going to be enough. Doomhammer was going to need the Amani's support, and this offer seemed to be the only way they could gain it. He ordered the Horde to turn east. His trusted lieutenant, Varrock Sourfang, commanded a rearguard of Blackrock Orcs to stop the Alliance from giving chase. This allowed them to cross Hillsbrad and exit through a narrow pass in the mountains into a region called the Hinterlands. In this new region, Amani guides led the Orcs on a path that would take them over the northern mountains and into Kul Tiras. On the way, Zul'jin rallied further local Amani to join their ranks, and everything seemed dandy until winged shadows appeared over the Horde. What the bloody hell's that? Are the dragons back? Nope, it was griffins, being ridden by tiny men with beards, the Wildhammer dwarves. The Hinterlands had been the home of the Wildhammer for a long time, and they kept watch over this land from their mountain stronghold, Airy Peak. They were adept shaman and would infuse lightning into weapons known as storm hammers. They were also fiercely independent, and because they were so isolated, they'd had no bloody idea of the Horde's existence, or even the battle that had been raging right next door. But they knew the Orcs existed now, because they could see them. Their leader, Thane Kurdran, had decided these creatures were definitely a threat, and took action. He led his bravest Griffin riders. They'd bombard the Horde with their storm hammers, and then bugger off into the clouds. And they did this over and over again, whittling down the Horde's numbers. The Orcs didn't really have any way of countering this. They had no aerial support because the Red Dragons were still being jerks. The War Chief decided the best defense was a good offense, so he ordered an assault on Airy Peak. This forced Kurdran and his Griffin riders to stop pissing about in the sky and return to the stronghold. However, as the battle erupted, Orgrim and half of the Horde pulled back. They would continue north whilst the rest of the Horde kept the Wildhammer at bay. And the Wildhammer didn't seem to care about the retreating Orcs and Trolls. They just wanted to defend their home. After Doomhammer had escaped north, Lothar and his alliance forces arrived and came to the Wildhammer clan's aid. Humans, elves and dwarves managed to push the Orcs away from Airy Peak, and they cheesed it into the forests. This battle would forever change the Wildhammer clan. They now knew the threat the Horde posed, and were determined to do something about it. So they joined the alliance, and the addition of aerial soldiers was bloody brilliant. Lothar had been concerned that the Horde may use dragons again in the future. Now they'd have a way of combating that, so he was pretty pleased with himself. Kurdran then informed him that half of the Horde had buggered off north, and Lothar realised he'd been outmanoeuvred, which kind of ruined his buzz. But he didn't wallow in defeat. He immediately dispatched Turallion and a large part of his army to track Orgrim down. The rest of the alliance would remain in the Hinterlands and deal with the Horde there. The routes to Lordaeron's capital seemed secure. Everything will be fine. Meanwhile, Garona had lived under the watchful eye of Eitrigg ever since the end of the First War. During this time, she'd served a few functions. She'd translated documents taken from captured Alliance messengers. She'd even fought alongside the Horde. At first, she'd viewed Eitrigg as just another mindless warrior, but over time she noticed something more. This guy wasn't just a fanatic, there's a glimmer of pride and honour in there somewhere. She believed she could win Eitrigg's trust, so she told him everything she knew about Gul'dan and the Shadow Council. She also revealed her knowledge of demons, and how the Orcs had been mere puppets. Destroying the Alliance was exactly what these demons wanted, and Eitrigg was like, "Shut your face, you bloody liar." He didn't believe a word she was saying, and Garona abandoned any hope of helping him see the truth. Instead, she decided to bide her time and wait for an opportunity to escape her handler. And this opportunity came in the Hinterlands. As the chaos had erupted in the region, Garona had cheesed it into the forests and vanished. Eitrigg had considered hunting her down, but the war with the Alliance was his priority. Plus, he did harbour some feelings of sympathy towards her. Gul'dan had treated her like crap. She hadn't been born a dishonourable assassin. As long as she doesn't turn her blades against the Horde, Eitrigg would leave her be. And we're leaving it there! In the next Volume 2 video, the Horde are going to march on Kul Tiras. Plus Gul'dan's going to do some sneaky bugger stuff. As always, thanks very much to those of you who support the channel as patrons. Links in the description if anyone's interested in supporting the channel in that way. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and See ya!